Now, let's explore more the process through which a literature review is conducted. We'll start with step 2, searching the literature, also identified as a key to unlocking the academic literature in the topic of interest. It derives from the previous one, the identification of key terms, but it is the next step down the line. So if previously you looked at newspapers, web pages, company publications as sources of empirical knowledge, you will now look at academic journals, monographs, books, working papers as sources of academic knowledge. This phase of the literature review equips you with general background knowledge and familiarity with main key terms in an academic context. It helps you understand the current state of the academic knowledge. And if you notice, the empirical knowledge sources and academic knowledge sources do overlap up to a point through management journals and popular books. So those could be your main sources for both. In the past, it was more difficult to undertake this stage of your literature review. It is easier today in the era of digitization. You have access to search engines such as Google Scholar. Crucial, it's not Google, it's Google Scholar. It's a source of academic work, not just the web in general. Another very good search engine is the library at the University of Glasgow. Now, the difference between these two is that on Google Scholar you can search using terms as keywords, whereas in the University of Glasgow library engine you need to look for journals. So if your terms are, say, job-related stress, you will need to identify a journal in which work in job-related stress might be published, and then look for the journal on the University of Glasgow library website as search engine. You may be able to use both in parallel. That is, search using keywords on Google Scholar, and then once you've identified the papers you wish to read, look for those papers using the library search engine. There are also journal websites, or better said, publishers' websites hosting a number of journals, 700 journals in Sage, for example, and you would be able to use keywords in that instance. But then again, if you are at home, you may not have access to them, and you would need to locate them using the library search engine. You would get access to them if you go through the library. How might that search work? You open your Google Scholar webpage and insert the terms you've identified previously. On the university library search engine, which tends to change every year or every few years, you may see something like this, and you would need to look for articles, books, so on and so forth, rather than for keywords.